Yo, what's up, guys? Hey, I know I haven't posted in a while, but yo, we're gonna get right back into this grind. Well, I don't think necessarily a grind because unlike these other, YouTubers, my story times, they're 100% real. They're 100% real life experiences that I've went through. Um, they're not made up. I've noticed that a lot of storytime YouTubers, they just make up random stuff because they'll have a string of different stories, which are really, really, really similar to each other, but they're different stories. So I don't think I'll be posting that much, but I'll tell you, every time I can think of a story from my past, or every time I make a new memory, I'll definitely come here and I'll tell you guys about it. So what I'm gonna be telling you guys about in this video is basically about how I got expelled from school. Now this was recent. Um this was earlier this year or earlier last year, so 2021, November 2021, and it all started in gym class. So there was this one guy who I've known since like 7th grade. We actually used to be pretty good friends. We would joke around. We would, play gym games with each other. We would, horse around and all that stuff. But then, I kind of towards the middle of middle school, he developed a new personality, I'll say. Now, I attend a school where it's primarily rich white kids, or just very privileged white kids, or just very stuck up white kids in general. When I tell you the school wasn't really diverse, we had about 10 Indians and about 20 blacks with over 2,000 kids in the school. So he became one of those people who follow the crowd and they became stuck up. Um, to basically tell you everything about him, he's a golf player and he's number one on the golf team. So that should just in itself tell you how stuck up this kid is. Now, after he's discovered this new personality, he became a jerk. And I never thought that people from the high school movies that you would see on TV, like, those bullies from High School Musical and things like that, I never thought people like that actually existed. I never thought people had that kind of mindset, but I was obviously really wrong. So this kid, we're going to call him, what should we call this guy? We're going to call this guy Benjamin because I've never met a Benjamin before. So, he can't say anything about this video because it is confidential. Nobody knows who he is. So we've had this gym class together because we're in school. So obviously people are going to have classes together. I had a gym class with this guy, and I'm known for being one of those people, who's very like, overly playful and things like that. So like after we finished running our laps around the gym, which we had to do every gym class, we would run around and then we'd sit down and we'd start workouts. He decided to yell at me to, shut the F word up while I'm talking to my friends. Now, it's not even like we were, screaming around or anything like that. We were just, making gay jokes, I'll say. Not making fun of gay people, but just how teenage boys are now. Just they say everything and it's always gay. So we were joking around with each other, and then he just yells at me, shut the F up. So, I confront him. I'm like, yo, who are you talking to? But first, before I say that, I look to my friends. I'm like, this kid's not talking to me, all right? He's not talking to me. So I go to him. I'm like, yo, who are you talking to? And he reassures me. He says, I'm talking to you. But he kind of looks away when he does it, and he laughs to his friends, not at his friends, but to his friends who are next to him. And so I go, bro, you're not talking to me, man. You're not talking to me. He's like, yes, I am. I'm talking to you. So I look at my friends. I'm like, yo, this kid is literally not talking to me right now. So I look back to him and I say, if you're talking to me, then come say it to my face. Don't say it literally behind my back while you're like 10 feet away from me, sitting behind me. So he proceeds to say things to me like, why would I say it to your face? You're scared. You're not going to do anything. You're obviously not going to do anything. And as he's saying this, he's still consistently looking back to his friends for validation and laughing, and they're egging him on, which makes it worse. They're like, hey, bro, go say it to his face. No, go say it to his face. And like he's trying to make light of it. He's joking around. He's like, no, how about you go say it to his face? And they're like, hey, yo, I'm not going to go say it to his face. I don't want him to get mad at me. I'm cool with him. So I keep telling this guy, what is his name again? I keep telling Benjamin, I'm like, bro, say it to my face. Say it to my face. And he says, oh, I said it to your face already. I tell him, I'm like, you didn't say it to my face. You are literally behind me and you're 10 feet away from me. Come over here and say it to my face. Now, at this point, he says it again, but he doesn't say it to my face. I'm now looking at him, but he is still 10 feet away, which is not anywhere near my face. You know, he's 10 feet away. That's taller than Shaquille O'Neal. That's not anywhere near my face. So now at this point, exercises are over. I'm still yelling at him to say it to my face. And now we did this thing where we would finish our exercises, and then there are two different gym classes. So there's regular PE and there's PE and strength and conditioning. So my class, including, you know, other people, but not him, we would go to another classroom to lift weights. Now, a majority of the people in the gym were in that strength and conditioning class. So they're all leaving, and I stay back even though I'm in that class. And I'm still pressing Benjamin. I'm telling him, come on, just say it again, say it again. Now, at this point, I'm actually in his face, and I'm like my chest to his shoulder while he's walking away. I'm pressing up on his shoulder with my chest, and I'm telling him, oh, repeatedly, I'm saying, yo, say it again, say it again, say it again. And he just keeps saying, no, no, you're scared, you're not gonna do anything. And then he started saying, like, say what, say what, say what, as if he didn't know what he just said to me. And then at one point, we start shoving. You know, he will kind of nudge me, and then I would, you know, shove him back. And then he would nudge me, and I'd shove him back. And at one point, he nudged me, and I shoved him, and he went for a punch, which nobody saw. Okay, I remember it. I don't think he's gonna admit it, but he tried to punch me, but it was a close punch. So the cameras in the school, inside of the gym, didn't pick up. Obviously, all the people watching didn't pick it up because, you know, I had him against the wall. He tried to punch me, and it wasn't visible. Now he did that, and it completely pushed me to my limits. So I don't condone violence, guys. All right, I'm just gonna tell you that before I continue. But I start just bashing his head with haymakers. Now at this point, and you know, I'm blacked out. I'm not thinking about what I'm doing, and I'm just punching his head repeatedly, and I'm just going and I'm just going, and I'm blacked out. And it's to the point where, like, I was punching so hard, he ducked on a couple of the punches. I hit the wall, and like I messed up the nerves in my hand. But I did not notice it in that point. So I kept going, and I'm just going, and I'm not stopping. And this kid who was saying that I'm scared and I'm not gonna do anything started screaming for help. The kid who said I was scared and wasn't gonna do anything. So the teacher comes over. She thought we were play fighting at first. And then she gets serious. She walks over, but she's like a 5 foot old lady. She's like a 5 foot old lady. So she comes over. She sees the fight. She sees I'm not stopping when she comes over. And then she just walks away. And you can see that in video. There's actually a video of it. Now, at this point, I'm slamming him on the floor and I'm punching him repeatedly. And I finally get my last hit in. And as I'm walking away, I kind of just let my foot fly as I'm walking past him, just boom into his head. So after this happens, the female teacher who walks away, she comes back with my strength and conditioning coach. And, you know, he takes me. I already don't like this man. He's the most annoying teacher I've ever had. But he starts asking me what happened. I just look at him, and then the principal comes over. So the principal comes over. I like her. She was kind of like a friend. She was chill. So I tell her what's happened. I take her up to, she takes me. I don't take her up to her office, but she takes me up to her office, and she has me write this little note. And now in my head, I'm thinking everything is all right. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get suspended or I'm going to get ISS or something. So, you know, I'm being kind of cocky in the note. So I write this note. She takes me to the assistant principal's office. Now, when I tell you, I don't like this assistant principal. He's so bad to the point where I missed my bus to home one time, and they made me walk home. Now, when I tell you, I live 5 miles away from the school, and about 2 miles of that walk is on the highway. All right, and he made me walk home. Now, if you've ever missed the bus, I'm pretty sure most of you would know, like, they usually just call on the walkie-talkie, or they go into the office and they're like, hey, you know, after you finish this, you know, this kid, this kid hasn't gotten on the bus, come get him. Or they just tell him to turn the bus around, or they just get an empty bus and they have someone drive you home. That's usually what they do. That's what they used to do to me in middle school. Or then I would be in the office sometimes and I would see them do that because I would just be in the office at the end of the day. I don't even know why. I would just be in the office. But this guy's talking to me, and he didn't even say a lot. He just said, what you did is like very serious. You're gonna be in big trouble. And I don't say anything to him, so he walks out. Now I'm telling you that's a key part in this story, that he only said those things. So he walks out, and I'm left in there alone for an hour and a half. I'm just sitting in that office. So I start watching Netflix, I start watching YouTube, I start watching TikTok, things like that, because I'm in there for an hour and a half. So he comes back, he's like, "You're getting picked up, da 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 da," and he talks to my mom, and he says, "I'm gonna be put on a 10-day suspension, a 10-day hold actually, to see if I would get expelled." Now, remind you, this was like December 25th, I'd say. I had a school board meeting on December 8th. Now, on December 8th, I went before the school board. We talked, and there was this one lady. She just held a grudge against me. She was like one of the lowest statuses on the school board, but she had the most to say. A lot of the other members, they showed a little bit of, you know, feeling where I'm coming from because this kid bothered me. But this one lady, she just wasn't having it. She didn't care. She was actually yelling at me. And that was very unprofessional of her to be like someone, like it's kind of like a court system now. If the judge is yelling at you, that's very unprofessional. You can have your emotions, but she kept trying to sway my words a certain way. Now, I'm not trying to be cocky, but I am a very knowledgeable person, and I can tell when someone's trying to manipulate me into saying certain things. And she was trying to get me to, admit things that I even do. She was trying to get me to say things that even have anything to do with it. Now, here's the difference between a school board and court. If you post things on social media that can't be taken before the school board because it happened outside of school, and you cannot get in trouble for things that you did outside of school by the school board, at least legally, but some schools still do it. Why? Because a lot of students don't know their actual rights. So this lady tries to bring up a social media post where I post up pictures of my bloody knuckles, and the caption is like, "Imagine getting your ass beat when you were the one talking crap." So she says this, and then everyone starts yelling at her. Like all the other board members, they're like, "Hey, no, no, you can't do that. You can't do that." And she starts getting mad and arguing with her colleagues. Now, it is one thing when you're yelling at, someone who doesn't work with you, but these people work with you, and it's supposed to be a very professional setting, and you start arguing with them in front of the person. So that whole school board thing happened, and they said they're gonna expel me, so they expelled me, and I'm expelled. Now I'm thinking, hey, it's fine. I have no school. I'll just go back next year. It was a 365-day expulsion. I'll say 2 days after this happened, my mom got a call from the police. They're like, hey, there's a big chance your son's gonna have to go to juvie. So my mom comes in my room, busts in my room, and she's like crying, screaming. She's like, "They're trying to take you to juvie, this and that, and this and that." I'll say about 2, 3 hours later, she comes in my room. She's like, "Okay." They called me again, and they said, "You either have a choice. Either you go here and you pick up this ankle monitor, or you don't and you go to juvie." Obviously, my mom didn't want me to go to juvie, so we went up and we picked that ankle monitor up. I've been on that ankle monitor for 5 months, or actually, that's a stretch. I've been on it for 3 months. But the whole reason why, he tried to press a felony charge on, actually, two felony charges on me just for beating him up when he instigated it. Now, I had about a 95% chance of having to go to juvie from like 1 to 3 years. But luckily, by the grace of God, I beat that. So the moral of the story is just don't beat up rich white kids. if they're rich and white, they're probably going to sue you, especially if you're not also rich and white. So just keep your hands to yourself, guys, or you're going to end up like me. Now, if you guys really did enjoy this video, I'll appreciate it if you leave a like and you subscribe. You turn on post notifications so you'll see if I ever post another video again, because I personally don't know. Like I said, I don't have a lot of stories to actually tell. So if I do post again, it's probably going to be me playing something on my PS4, most likely Rocket League or Minecraft, or it'll probably just be some miscellaneous video, probably me playing the guitar or something, because I'm also learning the guitar. You guys could also ask me questions in the comments, get to know me a little bit. If you really like me, if you really mess with my videos, get to know me, you feel? All right, well, peace.